All right, everyone, welcome back to a very special episode of the Save Point Vids podcast. This episode is going to be all about Gamescom 2019, kind of recap, review, our thoughts and impressions. What was it called? Geoff Keighley's
opening night.
I keep wanting to call it One Night Stand.
I think it was like opening
One Night Stand
live.
would have been a better name for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically Geoff Keighley's.
If it's gonna be as underwhelming as this one, it should be a one night stand.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It was very. I mean, let's jump right into it. What? Give me your overall impressions.
The opening night thing, it was. I don't know. It's kind of.
I mean, they didn't lie he didn't lie about any of it. There were world premieres from the developers that he said were going to have it, but
Right.
aside from Borderlands 3 and Death Stranding, it was pretty much a bunch of games that nobody really cares.
It's 99% of the gaming community is not going to care about the games that they announce. The one game that did interest me. Probably the only new game that was announced that interested me was the one from, I forget his name, but it was like an ex-Bungie guy.
Oh,
it's a
first person
it's
shooter.
called
RTS.
Disintegration. The game's called Disintegration.
Yes.
It's a first-person shooter / real-time strategy.
Right.
You're kind of
that
a
the one
robot.
where, you control your team from the mech? Is that
Right, yeah, like from a mech or something, and it has like a Bungie, Halo, Destiny vibe to it.
Is that the one where they destroyed the barn?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if it had the destructible environments.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think anything else really, other than the games that were already announced.
Right.
Like, the PP gameplay.
Yeah.
Of Death Stranding.
We'll get into that.
And those games. But as far as the new ones, I don't think.
I don't think there was a ton. Which, I mean, if you looked at, I don't even remember what Game Awards had last year, but he is trying to do something really unique, which I give him a lot of credit for. He is very innovative in terms of getting people together that typically
Right.
I mean, if you remember E3, I believe it was E3, he got the heads of Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo on stage together, and from everything that was reported about that is that it was all because of him. He was not that they hate each other or anything like that, but they didn't have any plans to basically get on stage and talk about, video games as a whole. Yeah. But he basically, worked his magic and was able to make that happen. So I give Geoff a lot of credit in that regard. I mean, the actual show itself didn't need to be 2 hours. Kojima's segment didn't need to be 30 minutes.
Right.
But before we get into the details, let me remind you guys that we do have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/SavePointVids. Again, this is going to be a one-off episode. Every Monday, to the best of our ability, we try to put up a Save Point Vids podcast on, again, youtube.com/SavePointVids, where we talk about the week that was in video games, as well as what we've been playing. Wednesdays, we try to do the definitive top 10, where we talk about the top 10 whatever it is that we want to talk about in video games. And then Fridays we have a Let's Play. Again, this is a little different just because it was Gamescom, so we didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to give you our thoughts and feedback. So hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends and our friends. But yeah, let's kind of go down the list. This isn't going to be necessarily in order of what was shown on stage, just kind of the highlights that we wanted to bring to the table. I guess let's start at the end and work our way back. What did you guys think of Death Stranding on stage?
I think we just kept saying, "What is this game?"
Yeah.
And I want it.
I do. I'm intrigued. I'm as intrigued as can be, but
I'm so confused.
100% going to play this game, but if I'm being completely honest with you both, I am so much less excited to play it after this.
Are you?
I am, and
I don't think this was the full
This was
gameplay.
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I get it.
He even said though that he just was doing this because I think Geoff was his friend, so he's just doing it for Geoff.
BFF. So,
and he said that he was saving the real gameplay demos for Tokyo Game Show.
I hope that's the case, because what we saw before, and remember that 9-minute trailer that he released around E3?
Yeah.
Had a little bit of the shooting mechanics. There was a little bit of stuff.
That's what we need to see. We need need to see the action
I
and the shooting and the real gameplay
right.
stuff instead of like this wandering around in the open
Because
world.
I mean, if for somebody, and I don't know who this might be, because it's certainly not us or anybody that might be watching this video. You know, anybody that's watching this is probably pretty tuned into the gaming industry. But if for on the chance that, you know, somebody is watching Death Stranding for the very first time, they're looking at this like, what the hell?
Right.
They spent 2 minutes talking about how he can pee and make mushrooms. They're talking about a baby, and you know, and
The baby's crying.
yeah,
you got a
and
rocket.
you got a
It's
rocket
like-
with motion controls, and it's like the gameplay. I mean, granted, the very, very, very small sliver looked super boring.
Right.
It was just him going up a ladder and then rolling down a hill. Again, I don't know, and
I trust Kojima. That was only like a few minutes of actual gameplay. That wasn't like him conversing.
it's a
with
very
the,
small
with the
sliver
Geoff
of
player.
a very specific.
I think it was just like a kind of like an inside, not like
it was
a
just
joke.
it was just like a here's gameplay because I promised Geoff that there's going to be gameplay.
Right.
So here's something, but I'm
Yeah,
saving.
I think it was-
I'm saving my good stuff for a real
Yeah, and
a real
I think it was just
game
throwing
show.
Geoff
And that may be the case, and I hope it is, because like I said, what we saw before this back in early June, I guess it was, looked really promising. I hope that's all it was. It was supposed to be like a funny little thing. I thought they could have cut the time in half. I don't think it
Yeah,
needed to be.
I mean, it was-
did you guys see the hype trailer leading into the gameplay where?
Oh, it showed like Geoff
Jeff-
introducing Kojima like year after year.
Apparently, Geoff Keighley like cut and edited that trailer himself.
He would do that.
He would do that.
Like going back years,
right?
like,
Yeah.
All right, dude, we get it, man.
So
And I was kind of like, hey, this is
yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed the little scenes that we saw though.
Now,
I think those revealed a lot without revealing a lot.
That's the thing. It's like, and again, everything
I feel
Kojima
like
does is
it's just like this other world that is
Right.
connected. It's like maybe they're not even dead. They're like living in this like other world
in
that's
between or something.
like living in this other world that's connected to the real world because
Right.
they said Mama was still imbibbically attached to her baby.
Very, very weird.
and because of that, she couldn't leave her area.
yeah.
And
I hope it lasts. And I'm
and like the babies, I think what they were getting at was like the babies in the packs are connected to still mothers, and what I was understanding
Yes.
is that still mothers were maybe mothers on the other side.
which is possible. I got a lot of did you guys see the movie Children of Men? Clive Owen.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I got some vibes from that. Just from that, is in terms of like maybe there's something to do with like infertility. And again, stillborns and like the mothers on the other side. I don't know if that
He
makes
did
sense.
say the babies only last like a year.
Right.
I don't know his characters, but Guillermo del Toro.
I
game
think he's
said
just called Dead Man.
Oh,
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then the babies are called BBs,
Right.
bridge
BTs.
babies.
Oh, Bridge Baby. I thought it was.
Yeah,
No,
it's
BTs
BBs.
are the bad guys. Or the
Yeah.
enemies. BBs.
And it does look like you will be traveling across the entire country.
Which I think is pretty cool. I hope that if gameplay does show up at TGS, I really want to see
Lots of different environments.
different environments. I'm tired of like the mountains and the green.
I don't know if you guys
fields.
noticed this, but like both like the east and west coast of like the map of the United States, they're like brighter, and then like in like the
I did
like
notice
the middle like tornado alley to like the Midwest, it was like it was darker. So I was wondering if like maybe there's like something going on in there with like the BTs or something
Possible.
like that.
Well, I remember, if you guys remember in the original trailer, not the original, but the one that was in June, the 9-minute trailer, the president who Sam was working with, Norman Reedus' character, he or she was saying that you need to reunite the East and West.
So like maybe like that's the reason why they're disconnected.
Literally, maybe they're disconnected. So who knows? Again, I'm still interested in the game. It made me a little less interested, but I get, you guys bring a good point to the table that I think he was throwing Geoff a bone, and it's, so hopefully we'll see a little more of a real look at gameplay.
If he wasn't, I don't think he would have. Like one of the first things he said was like he gave a disclaimer like that I'm saving like the real gameplay for Tokyo Game Show.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think he would have said that if like
right.
if that's.
I thought he was joking at first.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like,
But turns out that I think he was being serious.
yeah. Well, hopefully anyway. All right, so next up on the list we have this one was a little strange. It was the Comanche reboot remake. It was just CG trailer.
Never played it.
It was an old.
I might have played it.
We might have played it.
It was like show a little bit of gameplay. It was like a first person from the cockpit.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. Maybe I missed that.
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
I think the old one was like a top down.
I think so. Wasn't it for the PC?
Yeah.
It was out on PC, but I think it was.
I think I might be getting it mixed up with another game. I was thinking of one on NES that was like you controlled a helicopter. It was like a shooter.
I don't know, but it doesn't look super interesting to me.
Little Monsters 2. Which one is that one?
It was it was like little kids.
Oh, in the school,
kind
of
of
like
Pixar
a giant teacher, like
We saw this
kind of like a
earlier,
Tim Burton.
Didn't we see this
Pixar
originally?
creepy.
Did we see this a couple months ago? Like
I'm
the
not
original?
I think that was a different game.
Or was it? I'm thinking of the one that they announced for Stadia.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
What, Guilt? Is that what you're talking about? Because they showed that at the Gamescom.
Maybe I'm getting them mixed up. So which one is this one again?
It looks similar to the game that you're talking about.
Okay.
I have no idea. It's not something I never heard of it before.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was a sequel when they
but it's
when
like
they were premiering it. I thought it was its own game, but then it was like
Right.
Little Monsters.
It has
2.
like a Luigi's Mansion kind of like whimsical, creepy kind of vibe to it. I have no idea what it's about.
Gotcha.
Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, we talked about Disintegration, Kerbal Space Program.
I watch people play that on YouTube.
Kerbal Space Program.
I never even heard
first
of
one.
it.
Never heard it. So what is it?
It's like
Explain to the people.
The Kerbal Space Program. It's like a simulation game
Okay.
for rockets, and it's like real physics based. Like,
But is it like mixed with cartoony characters?
Cartoony characters, but I mean, it has like the whole solar system. Like, I was even watching a video of a guy. I forget what channel it was on, but he was like an actual guy who worked on like the Mars rover moon landing, and they had him play the game, and then he's like, man, it's all like really accurate. So that's. If you're into that kind of stuff, it's really cool.
If I was into it, it'd be cool, but I'm just not into simulation type
Yeah,
games.
it's like a rocket space simulator type thing.
All right. So you put Erica, live action thriller, and fail. So
Live action games don't work. Quantum Break, and if it's a live action, it looks like a live action movie. Just put it on Netflix.
Yeah, make it just like Bandersnatch.
I'm very interested.
It looks exactly like Bandersnatch.
I tell
how
you
like
what.
Bandersnatch plays out.
This one I'm probably gonna buy. It's $10.
I'm not saying it's going to be bad, but it's not going to be a success.
I think it could be like packaged as like a interactive movie like Bandersnatch instead of a real a live action video game.
I think that the reason that I'm interested in it is because I think it would be good. What I want to do is actually sit down with Stephanie and play it. So she doesn't really play. Obviously, she doesn't play games. So I think something like this, where you're still holding a controller.
Have you guys watched Bandersnatch? Watch it on Netflix. It's the same thing, kind of thing.
Right. I know.
It's cool, and the one thing that I'm hesitant about for it is it's an unknown actress that I've never heard of, some British actress and like unknown actors, and if it's bad acting, that'll just take me right out of it immediately.
You're right with stuff like this. Yeah, I mean, if when it's the whole game, quote unquote game, is hitched on the acting and not the gameplay, I mean that will make or break it.
And I'm wondering how much of it is like the real actors versus the video game side, because they didn't show hardly anything of like the video game. I think it was like all acting with like just choices on the screen that you picked, and then one thing I saw was like
the gesture
to untie the bow on the present or something.
Yeah, there was like a couple gesture. I don't know if you use the touchpad or the joysticks or something.
Yeah,
it needs to have like real gameplay mechanics, otherwise
it's an interactive
on Netflix as an interactive movie.
Right. So yeah, we'll see. I'm probably still gonna get it because I do want to. I'm interested to see. Priced at $10, I think that's probably the right call.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that, but if it's $10, then
yeah. I mean, obviously you can't. There's no way you can get away with $20 or even obviously a full game at $60. So we'll see. Witcher 3 Switch. Now, you guys have a Switch. Did you guys play Witcher 3 when it came out?
Briefly. I'm talking like for
I played
2 hours.
I played it for.
I feel like you guys
were
were
for like 10 hours, and I didn't even get past like the third mission because I got sidetracked doing other stuff, and then by that point I was just so overwhelmed that I just stopped.
Yeah, mine was like also an overwhelming experience where I was like,
Because it was just so much.
I played probably 30 or 35 hours, and I never got close to leaving the first act.
And the thing is, I never played the first two, so I felt like I was missing out on like key plot points and lore and stuff of the world. So I just felt lost.
I couldn't tell you what the story's about. I spent most of that 35 hours doing just random
right.
And I remember I tried to play Quent, and that was the most confusing thing I think I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, that game's weird. It's not in a bad way. It's just hard.
It was confusing. I didn't get the rules. I didn't get how it played.
Now, with Witcher 3 on Switch, is that enough to be able to play it on the couch or like handheld mode? Is that enough?
Depending on the price point. And
my guess is probably
the graphics were definitely watered down.
Of course, yeah. I think it was, and I could be wrong. Digital Foundry did a breakdown of it. Actually, I think it went up this morning. I think in handheld mode, it's not even HD. I think it's 540p.
Which I really
30 frames.
Care. It's more about the frame rate for me. If it's dropping,
I want to say it was.
I won't get
I want to say it was 30, and on the docked mode, it was 720. But I think the frames were 24, 25 frames a second.
So it's a trade-off, pretty much.
I'm impressed.
I doubt I'll get it, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm impressed that they put it on Switch.
Given that
but,
knowledge, I don't know if I'd even...
But
unless it was like super cheap, like $10, $15.
I doubt it. Gears 5 campaign.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of the campaign.
They show... Now, I think I missed that one. I saw the trailer for...
Too, honestly.
I saw the trailer for... Was it the Horde mode? Or something.
Yeah, they had the Horde. Yeah, they showed a little bit of the Horde mode on there.
Now, from what I remember, we're recording this the day after. That one had characters that had different special abilities that they were showcasing in the trailer, right?
Yeah, I think they had like specialists.
Okay,
yeah, each person had.
I remember there was one who was named Jack, and his ability was hijack.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. There was another one where the guy could see the outline through walls and shoot through walls.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got that.
And I remember like it was like they were showing them traveling through like different environments on like a snowmobile / like parasail thing.
Right. Yeah.
And she was like snowboarding on the back of it.
Right.
I think the world's going to be a little more open. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Now,
which I'd be.
You guys have the Xbox in Xbox, or is this something? Is Gears 5 in general something you're interested in?
For that one, it's like it's gonna have to be one of those that scores really high Metacritic.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's like,
it's not something that you're gonna get day one sight unseen.
No.
Okay.
No.
I haven't been that big on a Gears game since like Gears 3.
Yeah, Gears 3 was the last one. I didn't really like Gears 4 that much.
Okay.
And
didn't they have one that was not numbered? It was
Judgment.
Maybe
that was on 360.
Was that 360?
I think that was between 3 and 4, right?
Was it?
Might have been.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that one's gonna have to be like, if it's like getting rave reviews and people are like, man, this is like game changing stuff. Then
Text mom.
Oh, then I'll get it. Sorry.
What about Borderlands 3 Endgame? So
they just talked about how much endgame stuff they're gonna have.
Right.
And
that's true.
The two modes. I think one of them was in Borderlands 1 and they're bringing it back to Borderlands 3. I forget what it's called.
I saw part of that.
There's like another one.
Now, do you guys typically like looter shooters?
I mean, yeah, I do.
Do you? Because I'm not. I try to get.
I do. I like if they don't release new stuff, and if it's just like doing the same stuff over and over, right. I get bored of it. But the Borderlands 2 wasn't like that. There's plenty of stuff to do.
Right.
And
because I remember I played the first Borderlands, never played the second, but even like looter shooters in general, I played Destiny 1 and 2. I got to the end of the campaign for both, but like I just didn't feel, I don't know, I just didn't feel like compelled to go back. And same thing with the Division. I didn't play the second Division, but the first Division, I beat the campaign, never felt the need to go back. So I mean,
what you guys talking about?
Borderlands 3, just like the end game and the stuff like that.
Yeah, I want Borderlands 3.
So I mean, from a gameplay perspective and just the way it looks and the way it seems to play, it looks awesome. Like I love the cel shaded graphics.
Yeah. I put a lot of time into Borderlands 2. Probably just as much, if not more time than I put into like Diablo.
Right.
This is one of those kinds of games that I really like, and I like it's co-op. Me and Chase play a lot of couch co-op, so that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool to do.
Need for Speed Heat. What do you guys think of the gameplay? I mean, it looks
cool.
It looks like Need for Speed.
Yeah, it looks like a cool Need for Speed. But that being said, I haven't played a Need for Speed since like Underground 2.
I'm probably gonna get this. I mean,
I like the idea of being able to like customize your car on an app on your phone and like it transfers to the game. I think that's a cool. I think that's a cool concept.
I think that is too. What they really should have done, in my opinion, is just call it Need for Speed Underground.
It's everything Underground except the name.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
That's what they're going for, really. And that would have boosted sales. It really would have.
I think it would have too. But with that being said, it's an arcade racer and it has the custom. It reminds me of what it looks like and reminds me of what we probably think of when we think of Need for Speed Underground. Remember how it looking, and now obviously you go back and look at it now. So as long as it's not like complete trash, I'm probably gonna end up getting it. Life is Strange 2. You got
like Chapter 4.
Chapter 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I have not played the second season.
I haven't started the first season yet. So.
The reason being is that because the release schedule. Good save. The release schedule is so staggered that I think episode 5. Did they say when episode 5 was going to be released? It's like months from now. It might be towards the end of the year. And so, because I played the first episode of this season, I take that back. I did play the first episode of this season. But the second episode came out months later, and by then I had forgotten completely about what it was about. So I figured what I'm going to do is just wait until they all 5 release, and then just basically play it like a game, like, back to back.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. I haven't played those, but I have played other games like that.
Right. This one is good. If you like the Telltale games, same type of interactive adventure. You make choices, dialogue options, things like that. All right. Then this is going to be right up your alley. And I think with this one, with Life is Strange, it takes. And if you go into it completely not knowing what it's about, and you don't have anything spoiled, the story goes in a lot of directions that you're just not expecting.
I do plan on playing it, or at least watching him play it.
I have no clue what it's about.
Keep it that way. The less you know going into it, the better, because you will be...
No clue what it's about. I have no clue what that one spinoff was about. It's like the little kid with like who's a superhero.
Yeah, it was... shit, I keep wanting to call it Captain Underpants. It's...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like, he imagines he has superpowers, and maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think at E3 he was like flipping cars.
I know,
it was like
right?
11 from Stranger Things.
All right, and then
this is the stuff from today, which is August 20th. I think they just showed that today.
So
I haven't seen it yet.
So
I'm talking about. Go ahead.
So this was not part of Opening Night Live. What they did was, this is actually the demo. We're talking about Avengers. This is actually the demo that the press played behind closed doors at E3 that they are just now making public. So what it is, it's like basically the first 20 minutes or so of the game.
I only saw a brief little snippet of it. I don't know. Did they release the full 19 minutes or are they just talking about it?
No, so it's a full 19-minute gameplay clip. It's on, you can find it on YouTube anywhere. I watched it on IGN, but you can find it anywhere.
I haven't seen it yet.
But it's basically the opening cutscene. Very light spoilers if you want to turn it off. It is the opening mission. They're in the Bay Area in San Francisco. They are celebrating Avengers Day, where everybody gets together and basically celebrates the Avengers. But then there's an explosion in the bay, and so the Avengers obviously rush off. Yes, the Avengers assemble and rush off to see what happens. So you got Thor, Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk.
Hawkeye's not in there?
Nobody likes Hawkeye.
I kind of used to like Hawkeye.
I like Hawkeye in the end game. You know, when he's Ronin or whatever his name is.
I'm kidding. I like Hawkeye. But no, he was not in this
Guardians of the Galaxy, but whatever his name was.
So each character was highlighted in the 20-minute video. So the first 5 minutes showed Thor. So it looks like if you're familiar with any like action game, maybe like Spider-Man or the Arkham games, it's timing based as far as you got a light attack, a heavy attack. You press them in different orders for different combos. You have a special attack that you can use after you build up a meter type of thing. So pretty standard as far as the gameplay is concerned. But the first one was Thor, where you it looked a little funky because he's out there doing like spin kicks and somersaults.
Are they fighting like regular
they're
humans?
Like, well, I don't know if they're humans, but like regular like
bad guys.
Yeah, like
just like mob
human looking characters. Yeah,
like cannon fodder type.
Right,
guys.
exactly, cannon fodder. So, but I mean, you can throw his hammer and recall it. So I mean, you would expect that.
Is the gameplay trailer? Is it just that event? Because I know at E3 they showed like what happens like after that event happens.
So this stops at the end of the mission. So he's basically going up the Bay. I think it's just called the San Francisco Bay Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge. He's going up the Golden Gate Bridge. Like the whole mission takes place on the bridge. So it starts with Thor. He flies over with Iron Man side by side. Iron Man kind of splits off. Thor lands on the bridge, starts beating up on baddies, throwing cars around, and he can do I don't know what.
Can you switch between them at like any time, or is it
in this demo? It showed that you could not. So basically, once you got to a certain story section, the camera kind of like cinematically swoops into another character, and you control that character. So after Thor, it switched over to Iron Man. Instead of being on the ground, he's basically flying over the bridge, doing barrel rolls, using his repulsors, blowing up cars, taking out baddies. After that, I want to say it switched over to the Hulk, maybe. He's up on the, what's it called? The helipad, the shield.
Like that giant ship?
Yeah. The big airship?
Yeah, basically. I don't remember what it's called. But anyway, so the nerds out there can tell us. But he jumps off of that, and as he jumps down as Bruce Banner. But then as he's falling, he turns into the Hulk, and his is just like Hulk smash. He's just picking up guys, throwing them around, and picking up cars, and then it switches over to Captain America. Same thing. You're beating up on bad guys. You throw the shield. You brings back. And then at the end, you play as Black Widow. She actually takes on the boss of the mission. It looked like.
That's the snippets that I saw had Black Widow.
So hers is very, it's very melee focused, of course. She's doing a lot of like Hurricane Ranas and like spin kicks and backflips. And she does at one point pull out dual pistols and does that. But again, it looked really cool. I'm more excited now that I've actually seen it than I was when we just heard about it at E3.
Yeah, it kind of bummed me out watching it. Like it was like boring.
It was really weird not seeing the MCU actors.
And it still is because what threw me off the most about them all was Thor looks like Grizzly Adams. He's got like a big bushy beard and like disheveled like blonde hair.
I don't think I've seen it.
Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
I wonder if you can later on in the game if you can switch between the Avengers at will, or if it's like you control one at a time.
So I'm gonna actually hold on.
I wonder if you can if you control one at a time, if you can like link up with like 3 other people online or something.
Here, I'm going to read. This is from IGN. This is from Lucy O'Brien at IGN. She went hands-on with Avengers at Gamescom. Go over there, give it a click. How does it feel? So we basically went over that. So Marvel's Avengers is not open world. It's a quote-unquote expansive world. Our understanding of Marvel's Avengers begins properly after the tutorial, which ends with a series of powerful story beats, the destruction of much of San Francisco, the loss of, minor spoiler alert, for the beginning of the story, Captain America, and the disbanding of the rest of the group after they are blamed for everything that went down. 5 years on, and your goal is to reassemble the Avengers, who have all retreated into a state of depressive hiding in order to face a new threat, AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics. Blah, 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 blah. Here we are promised that Marvel's Avengers will open up minus the QTE, so quick time. There were plenty of quick time events in the opening mission. The term open world is not used, but expansive world is. You will have a base of operations on the helicarrier where you can launch level recommended single player and co-op missions in hotspots around the world from the Destiny-esque quote unquote war table overworld map. So it is very much like, it seems like it's a looter shooter. They talk about taking on.
Is it going to be, it sounds like they're doing a live service thing.
Live service, exactly. Like. Where you can basically get loot drops for different augments to your, in this example, yeah, like Iron Man suit, stuff like that. Single player missions in Marvel's Avengers are called hero missions, and their purpose is to play out like a main campaign as a particular hero in an environment that speaks to their strengths. Iron Man might be given a mission with a lot of wide open space, or Hulk might be the focus of a mission full of destructibles. These hero missions are story heavy. They make up what is essentially Marvel's Avengers main story campaign and will therefore place a big focus on character development and backstory. On the flip side of that, elsewhere, Warzone missions can be played either solo or with up to 4 players, not 5, in co-op. The goal behind co-op and Warzone missions is to have you working as a unified team with all of your powers singing in harmony. So although it wasn't 100% verified by Square Enix, don't expect to have 4 Thors running around at once. So again, it sounds like just like Destiny or The Division, where you can basically team up in a lobby. It looks like you only be able to use, like if somebody's being Thor, you can't also be Thor. So, you know, they'll try to keep it within that reality. But yeah, if you want to tackle missions co-op for, again, they talk later in the article, they talk about loot drops and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm just not, we were just talking about that. I'm not a huge live service looter shooter
kind of the live service thing.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
Ain't that kind of, you know.
But I'm interested to see how it nets out. I mean, if it's,
they didn't actually say it was a live service, did they?
No.
We're kind of speculating.
Yeah, we are speculating a little bit, but also all signs point to it.
It does sound like that's what it's going to be.
You know, you have the helicarrier as your hub world. You basically pull up a map where the Avengers are needed, and you kind of and you can do just like in Destiny 2, which was probably the last live service game I played through. You can tackle the story solo, obviously, or if you want to again team up, you know, you can. I'm more interested now, though, like I said, than I was at E3. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. I was really just hoping for basically Spider-Man PS4, but with Avengers in it.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
Me too. That's what I was
expansive single player.
Just give me like a 20-hour single player focused, awesome story. Showcasing the Avengers.
That's what I thought when I first heard it, and all the way up until recently. I thought it was just going to be a single player, or maybe like a couch co-op, or even like the online co-op. But it doesn't sound like it's going to be super. I don't know what the term is, but you know how Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Or any of those kinds of games.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I guess congrats to Insomniac. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Sony bought them.
They exclusively make for Sony anyways, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part they did for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I think the last game that they made multi-platform was Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, but yeah, shout out to them. It seems like I'm sure.
That's a good buy, though. It's a talented team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much confirms Spider-Man 2 and probably 3. And maybe even Sunset Overdrive at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah, they're going to milk that baby with all those sales.
So, and then you guys put down Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So I don't know anything about this, so tell me.
Man.
Tell me.
First off, I'm hyped for the game. It's a Dragon Ball Z RPG.
Okay. So it's not like a fighting game. It's not Budokai.
No,
because that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just DBZ. Because didn't they just come out with one?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's like this.
Is it Fighter Z?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I thought it was just Fighters. No,
it's Fighter Z.
Is it really? Okay.
Fighter Z.
Okay, because the way it's
that would make sense actually.
I thought it was Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
But yeah, it's. I don't think they're doing it fully open world. It seems more like the hub spaces and like a.
Okay.
But from what I saw today, they started out, it was Piccolo and Goku looking for Raditz. And he can fly either like on the flying Nimbus, and it is a huge open space. So you can go to a lot of different places, it looks like. The flying Nimbus are, just regular flying.
Right.
And I couldn't tell if you ran into enemies on the map or if it was random battles.
Okay.
But you do get into like these RPG like type battles, and you got your health bars and stuff.
If I remember correctly from what I saw at E3, like there's like enemies in the world, and I think if you run into them, like it like kind of zooms in, like,
and you're like tethered to them.
Yeah, you're so like kind of over the shoulder, and then like you're in a battle, like you're in a fight.
Okay, so when you battle, it's not. So it's still fighting, like a fighting game, not a fighting game, but
you got your hit points and your stuff, and like X's Kamehameha wave, and you're tethered, and you're kind of fighting like that, going around.
Now, does the camera stay behind you, or is it basically?
It stays behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like a fighting game where one is on the left.
No.
Right. Okay.
And then you do your RPG fight, and you can use your potions. I forget what they're called.
This sounds cool.
And then you get out of the fight and you go, and he went and fought Raditz.
Now
there's like side missions and stuff. Like there's a character from the original Dragon Ball that you could talk to.
Now,
they gave you a mission to do.
Did they confirm? Does it go through like the entire DBZ sagas?
All of them. Not.
They just showed a gameplay for the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Cell, so it at least goes through the Cell saga. But
did they? I must have missed that.
So I think it'll probably go through the entirety of Dragon Ball Z.
It goes. If I remember, so it goes Cell and what Android Saga, and then
Android Cell, or it goes the Saiyan,
right?
Like Frieza / Namek,
right?
Then the Android Saga.
Okay.
If you're not talking filler episodes, because in between there's the Garlic Jr. Saga.
Oh, but, yeah.
And then after the Android is the Cell, and then like the Cell games, the Cell tournament. And
I remember that. Yeah.
Then you have the Majin Buu,
the Buu saga,
and then like the Super Buu, and then Kid Buu, and then that's the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Now, what's this? Now, going off on a tangent here, what is in there? Like a new one, Super Dragon Ball Z or something? Like
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, what is that?
That takes place. That takes place. Well, because the last episode of Dragon Ball Z takes place like I forget how long, maybe like 10, 15 years after like the previous episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay. So there's a big time jump.
Yeah. And so Dragon Ball Super takes place in between like those two episodes, like during that time jump.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Just a whole bunch of new characters.
Because I saw that. Is that on Hulu or something? I feel like it's somewhere.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. I thought I saw it.
I think it used to be, but they took it off.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
I'm
sure it's on Crunchyroll or something. It's definitely on Funimation.
Okay, so I was just curious. I saw that and I was like,
I like it. It's really good.
Yeah,
it starts off kind of slow, but at the end, it really picks up.
It seems like it's a real JRPG, but instead of just like
an action RPG,
like you're static on this side and you're static on this side. Hit the attack button.
Now, have we
moving around? It's like an action RPG. Right. Each attack has its own like set of damage that it does, and it displays it. Like a Kamehameha has like a chain of like 19.
Yeah, the guys shoot a key blast at you, and you gotta dodge it and stuff. So
now, did they show anything outside of combat? Like, if it's an RPG, I imagine like there's quests to go on.
They showed like him doing like a side quest.
Okay.
Yeah,
NPC quests
gives you a mission.
I know there's like stuff like fishing, like side stuff.
Okay, just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
there's like
cool.
There's level progressions and they said you control throughout it. You control Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks. So far, I think so far those are the only ones they confirmed. But they said you definitely control them throughout the story.
So I'm excited. That's like two of my favorite things: JRPGs and Dragon Ball Z, which is like my entire childhood.
Yeah, it definitely was. Toonami.
Yeah,
Toonami in the early 2000s was where it was at. Late 90s. Do we have a release date for that yet? Do we know?
If there is, I missed it.
Okay.
I think
I just watched the game. It was just a gameplay.
I think it just said coming 2020.
Probably. Okay. Just curious.
And yeah, so that's.
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
I hope it's really good. Track record for like anime games that are like this aren't that great. But
Bandai Namco's making it, right?
Are they publishing or are they also developing?
I'm not sure, but
I'll check.
That's why I'm hoping it's good. I'm definitely going to be looking into it. And
because actually, Bandai Namco, I think is kind of an underrated publisher. They put out some decent, really good content.
Let's see here. It's Bandai Namco and CyberConnect 2.
Okay, and I love CyberConnect.
yeah, I
2.
like CyberConnect too.
Those
So
are
that
the
makes
guys that were supposed to do the original Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
And Square pushed
that makes me
off of it.
that makes me a lot more excited for it and have higher hopes for it.
Because I love the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Didn't they do Dot
series.
Hack also CyberConnect?
Did they?
The Dot Hack games.
I haven't played a
on
Dot
PS2
Hack
or
in so
3
long
or
that
something.
I don't remember who.
I love the
did
Dot
it.
Hack games.
Well,
The
that's,
original ones on the PS2.
that's all I got. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I literally was like checking right before we came over,
Yeah.
and like the DBZ and the
Right.
stuff
Let me see.
was the latest stuff that I saw.
I mean, they got like a few
not
other
sure.
games that I saw, but
Yeah.
nothing really major.
There's like every game had like ray tracing for like the new.
yeah,
was it NVIDIA graphics card?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Which I don't own a PC, so I don't know how.
either.
I know ray tracing's really
That's
really
like
good tech.
that's like the next big thing.
Yeah. Really good.
Do we
lighting
know what
tech.
the release date for Link's Awakening is?
I think it's the same day as the Switch Lite, whatever
Is
day
it?
that is. I don't remember.
I do want to get.
I do want, yeah. I remember playing the original Link's Awakening, and I'm excited for
Final
3D
Fantasy.
remake.
You got my text last night. Final Fantasy 8. Did you get my text last night?
Yeah.
September 3rd. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the release
Are you
date
guys gonna
trailer.
get it on Switch or?
Probably on Switch.
I would say so. Our Switch library is pretty sparse, so
and it would be nice to play it
Just
on
play
the go.
it. Yeah, that's what I figured. Just
Yeah.
play it laying in bed or something.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
the
And the remastering
trailer.
looks good. Yeah.
It looks
I
like a
saw,
PS2 game almost.
Like the
Almost,
the
yeah.
facial, like, you know, the faces and everything looked a lot more crisp. And
So
everything.
I already looked at the trophy list. I'm
try to 100%.
gonna try to get the
I wonder if they're going to add anything to it or, like, you know, because
Have you not seen it?
I saw the release date trailer. That's it.
You didn't see the
But like, I was wondering if they're going to add anything because, like, how they added some stuff to Final Fantasy 12 remastered.
Oh
and-
no, I don't think it's gonna be that. As far as I know, it's just
Like they added like weapons and like a few like side quests and optional bosses. To
no.
Final
I
Fantasy
don't.
12.
From what I understand, you can change the game in the sense that you can like turn on limit breaks whenever you want, or
Yay.
completely max out stats.
Oh, like the other like
Yes,
7 remastered
yes, exactly
and
like
9
that.
remastered.
Yeah.
and all.
So you can do that.
I just couldn't picture myself doing that. I
I
enjoy the grind.
tried when I originally played the PS3 release of Final Fantasy VII. I couldn't do it. I got
I
a
enjoy
couple
the
hours
grind.
into it, but it was boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
even
just
even if I like grind till I'm like super OP early on in the game,
right.
I enjoy that because I
you-
earned it. You
Did
know?
you guys see the? Did you guys see the? I don't remember how long it took. It was a guy that did the Final Fantasy VII not remaster, but Final Fantasy VII re-release on PS3, I guess, or PS4. He grinded and got to level 99 before he left Midgar.
That would take forever.
Oh my god! It took. He said.
Could you like do like the *2 *4 gameplay? Like,
I'm sure he did, but yeah, I mean he.
otherwise, that'd just take forever.
But he did it for the whole party coming out of Midgar. So everybody but like Red 13, Kate Sith, Vincent,
Bruh,
Sid.
get a life.
Yeah, man, that'd take days straight of just
More
grinding.
than days, dude. I'm probably like weeks.
I can't
They
remember.
don't give you a lot of experience.
if
man.
you-
And it took me like a really long time to get to level 99, and I was in
It
the
didn't
northern
take me
crater.
that long. It took me like maybe like a couple hours of grinding at the end to
Right.
get to level
If
99.
you guys want,
50,000
That's what I'm saying.
experience per
Days,
battle.
just days straight. Maybe
feel free to look it up, but it's on there somewhere. I can't
like, you
remember
know,
the,
just
the name of
days
the guy.
straight of just grinding. You know.
But yeah, so that comes out September 3rd.
And think about how fast the battles will go once you get to a higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm not condoning
patience
this. This
of the
sounds
man.
like the dumbest idea I've ever heard. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll kind of want to do the math on that. Maybe in the next episode I'll figure out the math on how long it would take.
But yeah, guys.
What's the point? Because then like everybody who you get later on in the games is going to be so like
Underpowered?
Yeah, it's like
I always got to keep my party like balanced.
Yeah,
Or I feel weird. I feel lopsided.
If somebody in my
That
party
is one of the great things in RPG. The RPGs that give players experience points that are not in your party is awesome.
I love that.
Yes.
Versus the ones that only
And
get,
like and the ones that don't, like if my party, like not including my main character who I can't take out, but if like the other two members or something get like a few, like maybe like more than like 5 levels above, I never let it. But if it does, then I'll like switch them out and like catch them up to the same level.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we kind of went off on a tangent there.
That's right. All right, guys, that's everything. That's our Gamescom 2019 review, reactions, thoughts, comments, whatever you want to call it. Find us at youtube.com/SavePointVid. Vids. This episode is going to go up. I'm probably going to put it up tonight, honestly. I was going to wait till tomorrow. But since it is a special episode, I'll probably put it up tonight after it's done being edited. Look for the definitive top 10 on top 10 gaming moments. We'll record that most likely tomorrow and have it up on Thursday. And then Activision announced at actually Gamescom, we didn't touch on this, but they announced the open alpha for PS4 users for the 2v2 gunfight.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna do our Let's Play on that. That Let's Play is, like I said at the beginning, typically go up on Fridays. However, because this is running only over the weekend, we'll probably record on Friday and have it up either Friday night or first thing on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll get you, I don't know how long. I mean, probably a couple hours if I know us. But yeah, look for that this weekend. But
I can't wait. Sorry, I can't wait.
I was just thinking about it too.
So, but yeah, find us there. Again, follow us on all the major social media platforms. Just search SavePoint Vids. And yeah, until next time, you guys stay safe.